realistically, he would finish what he's doing if he's not done yet, and then he would put his stuff away. But I know by that point, tomorrow might start egging him on, like, come on, Kamori, we're supposed to be packing things up. If I put an incentive on it, then sometimes, like if the first table to finish gets an extra point or something, then sometimes he packs things up quickly. Tristan, if he's doing his work and he's sitting at his desk, is fine packing stuff up, but he has been an oddball lately. He just doesn't want to do anything. He just doesn't do any of his work, like, at all. With the cupcake incentive, with everything, he just didn't, he was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, we read this poem. I read it twice. Robert Frost read it twice. And so we were supposed to create a visual for what you see in your head while you read the poem. And then Tristan just didn't do anything at that point.
Did you have an exemplar for that assignment? I meant to ask for this.
No.
That, so when I was thinking about giving lots of directions, right, and we were talking about how you need to break into smaller steps, sometimes even doing that for students who are visual learners can be really challenging. In fact, I'm a visual learner, and so like even as you were talking, I was like, I'm getting lost, you know, and I'm like, I'm an adult. So I know that I benefit from like you actually physically having something that is like, this is the output that you're producing. Like, you know, you did the assignment. This is Mr. Jarvi's example, because I would bet $100 billion that Tristan is a visual learner. And so you speaking and saying all these things to him, even you're like giving him the clearest as day directions, is really hard for him to process because he's a visual learner. And so had you actually had an exemplar of that assignment, like I listened to the poem, I drew this, I wrote my 3 sentences to show kids like that who aren't audio learners, I think that could have really made a difference. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time I try and like cut out the modeling, because I feel like I'm taking too long doing it.
I wouldn't even, that's not even saying modeling, that's saying like you last night when you were putting together this assignment created an exemplar of what you wanted it to look like, and while you're giving the audio directions, you're holding it up.
Okay.
And then when you have students like Tristan who are on task, you can be like, look at, this is an example of what I wanted you to produce. Don't copy it, but this is an example. And then that frees up you to not have to spend all the time explaining it to him, and it gives him an opportunity to have something to look at, and you can be like setting the rest of the class up rather than keeping having to check in. So it's not even like, you're not even spending the time modeling for them, you've already done it before you walked in here, because as a teacher you need to have an idea of what your kids are driving towards anyway. Just good backwards planning.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, silently pack up your station, and when you are done, make a team tent.
What's a team tent?
A team tent, they all know from SFA, they basically like connect hands with all the people. They like make a circle in the air with all their hands.
That's awesome.
It's a team tent.
Could you say, when I say go, you have 3 seconds to silently pack up your stuff and make a team tent. Go. And you would be like 3, 2, 1. Has countdowns worked for creating a sense of urgency?
Sometimes.
So write this down. Let's try it tomorrow. I'll have you reflect on it. This will be your homework.
Okay.
So when I say go.
Okay. You said write this down, and I was like, wait, what am I writing down?
The directions. You have 3 seconds to. Is 3 seconds appropriate? I don't know what they're packing up.
5 seconds.
Okay.
To silently pack up your station. And make a team tent when you are done.
Then, because we've added the countdown, I would do, so I would say, when I say go, you have 5 seconds to silently pack up your things and make a team tent. Go. And then I would say, like, as you were going to be doing the countdown, so I'd be like, 5, table 3 is putting away their stuff silently. 4, Makai is, putting the things in the buckets. 3, blah, 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 is working silently. 2, 1, and then narrate. Table 4 has made a team tent. Table 6 has made a team tent. How have team tents worked? Is that something that's not a problem? They're okay with touching people?
I actually haven't really done it with my class. I've done it during SFA. I haven't done it during our class once. So, I don't know, we'll see.
Okay, I think it's a good thing to try and reflect. So what if someone is not doing this silently, or what's your correction going to sound like?
Realistically, the first thing that would come to my mouth is, Kasha, I need to see you packing up your team tent. Or I need to see you packing up your basket. But you're shaking your head no, because that's not
I
going
want you to drop the I language, because it just is so verbose, and it's also like, it's not about you, like I mean, it makes it just a very teacher-centered classroom, which,
yeah.
like, yeah, I get it, because, like, yeah, you do need that to move on, but how can you just drop it all together and be like, Micaiah, you're working silently, that's your first warning, let's go. Though, the way we're structuring this, you might not have time to give the warnings until after the 5 seconds. Actually, you won't, because
Right.
you always should be pausing and narrating, so you'll get down to 1. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, if he's not in the team tent silently, that could be a warning you can give. So-and-so, you're making a team tent, that's your first warning, let's go. That type of thing. Okay. I want you to practice, and this is just one example, but I would recommend tonight thinking about other places you give directions and practice writing them and saying it, because I was talking to Mary about this. I'm like, gosh, you have all the systems in place. There's it's really clear. You're very engaging as a teacher. You can tell you love and care about your students. And so it's how do I speed this idea of being really this, you got this, we got this, let's go. And it just comes with the more you do it. And so the only way you're gonna, one is showing up to work every day. One is coming to work every day and practicing it, but the other, the way to speed it up and make it more natural to you is to practice it when you're at a red light in your car, when you're brushing your teeth in the mirror, something how can I just, because a lot of it is automaticity on your part, just making it come real natural and giving directions because it's just natural to me and it's not because you're a new teacher. So that's my recommendation. Okay, so that is the next step, is practicing that and reflecting on how that particular part goes tomorrow. The timer, and then the final thing,
So you say reflecting, you mean to write reflection or just to be thinking about?
Oh, how do you want, well, I guess up to you. How can we check in on how this transition went? Is it easier for you to shoot me an email? Is it easier for you to call me after school tomorrow? Is it, what's the most convenient for you?
Yeah, I can, a phone call's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time can you call me?
Right after school is the earliest, and then the rest of the evening, so.
So 3 p.m.?
Sure.
have to look at my calendar because I know I'm looking at my calendar right here.
I can just send an email. That works too.
No, I'd actually rather talk about it. Let's say 3 p.m. and I'll email you tonight if I need to change the time.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Okay, cool. And the last thing, sorry if I feel like I'm rushing this a little bit. I have to go to KIP at 3:45.
You are not the first person in Teacher Maker who would make me feel rushed.
Oh,
so
no.
do not worry.
I don't want to keep that.
No, I don't feel that rushed. I really don't.
Okay, so the last thing is the boys. So you have like a couple boys that are like Malachi, Mackay, who I feel like could really benefit from like you know, you're a male teacher and they haven't necessarily had a lot of male teachers from in elementary school so far because there just aren't as many of you. And I think they could probably really benefit from like an opportunity to like, I think we mentioned this in your journal, of just like hang out with you, you know,
Yeah.
and doing something. And so I'm wondering, of the students that you feel like you're having kind of
The biggest problems with.
the biggest
yeah.
problems with, if you could call their parents and maybe be like, you know, next Friday I want to, you know, hang out with them after school. We're gonna go out. My plan is to go outside and play catch or whatever,
Yeah.
like whatever activity they have for, you know, for 20 minutes on Friday. Does that sound good to you? Blah blah blah. And then when they come into class, whatever day you're doing it, you tell them in the morning, like, we're gonna have, you know, time together after school to, you know, but you have to make sure you're on your A game today because, you know, if you're not, then we're gonna have to spend that time talking about how you can change your behavior so that the next time we hang out after school, we can be playing football or whatever. And so it's almost like this incentive for them that day to be like, oh, I gotta like make sure I'm on my top of my game today because I want to be able to hang out with Mr. Jarvi after school and do something fun. And then, you know, if they don't have a good day that day, you still have them after school. You've already gotten permission from their parents. And you can use that time to be like, what could we do differently today so that I can make sure, you know, it's my responsibility as a teacher to make sure you're learning every day. And so like today we're gonna have to spend time making up the assignment that you didn't get done, but I still wanna play football with you. So next Friday, you know, or whenever is the day that you and their parents decide on. How does that sound?
An opportunity for students to hang out after school. I'm just trying to think of what we can do. Like if we played basketball, they'd get a real kick out of seeing me in like street clothes
Yeah.
and how awful I am at basketball.
I mean, really, yeah, it's like anything, but
Yeah. I'm just thinking like the gym might be open, so like there's definitely an opportunity for us to go in the gym and play some kind of game. Yeah.
my boys did that. Mr. Hinckley is one of the male teachers in the middle school. He's actually a resource teacher, but it was a huge incentive for them. Huge.
Yeah, I might just take all the boys in the class because 98% of my kids go to the after school program, and then 2 of them go home straight after school. So and only one's a boy. So I would just have to talk to the boy who goes straight home after school about. I just have to call his mom, and otherwise I can just ask the after school program, like, would you mind if I just took the boys for like the first 20 minutes of after school, or right after they're done with their snack,
Yeah.
and just like come over here and we play a game or something.
Yeah. But I would definitely encourage you to reach out to parents about it and be like, you know, I'm doing this as a way to, you know, support their academics. But I think, you know, a important part of it is them seeing me as a mentor and, you know, as someone that they can look up to. And because you're in such a great position to be such a good role model for them.
Yeah. Teenager the other day